This is not just a love story. Oh no, this is war, a cultural war, between a sweet Korean lady and one fire-breathing Yoruba mother who believes if your bride can't turn amala like a pro, she's not wife material. Cila just wanted to marry the man of her dreams. But instead, she ended up in the middle of Amala Olympics, emotional pepper soup, and Yoruba traditional boot camp. Let me tell you what really happened. Bayo, 32. Yoruba fine boy with swag, brains, and beard that connects. After years of studying and working in Korea, he returned home with a big surprise. And by surprise, I mean a Korean babe, Cila. Delicate, gracious, and so tender in her words. Her voice seems to hum through the air like a whispered melody, effortlessly gliding on a Bluetooth connection of charm and poise. The moment Mama Bayo caught sight of Bayo standing beside the Korean lady, Cila, she let out a loud, disapproving shout, her face tightening with visible displeasure. Run.
Jesus, Bayo! So you travel far away and bring me small rice girl that cannot even say a quarter or Bayo Kojo, you will not marry this girl. This is not the girl I want you to marry. Do you hear me? So Bobo?
From that day forward, Mama Bayo became a one-woman army. She gave GA missions, hardcore Yoruba woman training. Cila brought the food she had carefully and lovingly prepared, hoping to win Mama Bayo's heart. But Mama eyed the plate with a mischievous glint, leaned back, and exclaimed dramatically,
Is this really food or poison?
Just as the tension in the compound hit peak level, Bayo stepped into the scene, all cool and unaware, took one look at Cila's face, saw the thick charcoal stains smeared like tribal marks, and burst into uncontrollable laughter. Poor Cila froze, her hands trembling. Then slowly she lifted her head, her face crumpling in pure heartbreak, and before anyone could stop her, she wailed out loud. The elders burst into laughter. Even Mama Bayo had to turn away, to hide the smile, tugging at her lips.
왜 날 이렇게 대하는 거야? 불공평해. 그리고 넌 날 사랑한다고 했잖아.
Cila's heart ached as she looked at Bayo, the one person she thought would stand by her. Instead, he had laughed with the others. The sting of his mockery cut deeper than any words. With tears glistening in her eyes, she told him exactly how she felt, her voice calm, but heavy with hurt. Then, without waiting for a reply, she turned and walked away, her steps slow but firm. Bayo stood there, silent and still. The laughter had faded. In its place, a deep wave of guilt washed over him, heavier than he expected. Next test, waking up at 4 a.m. to fetch water. Half asleep, Cila rubbed her weary eyes, wrapped her fingers around the heavy bucket, and stepped boldly into the cold, silent darkness. Balancing the bucket on her head, she walked toward the stream, not like a stranger in a foreign land, but with the grace of a queen emerging from her royal chambers. Each step echoed quiet determination. This wasn't just about water. This was about proving she belonged. Another test, grinding pepper on the stone, Cila battled like a tiny warrior, sweat pouring down her face. Suddenly, the stubborn peppers splattered everywhere, and Cila, in total frustration, threw her hands up and wailed dramatically. Another test, Cila, trying her best to greet Mama Binta and the elders, but things aren't going quite as planned. With her arms flapping like a butterfly, she leans in for a bow and almost headbutts Mama Binta. Whoops! Mama Binta pulls back just in time, eyes wide with surprise, while the elders can't help but laugh. Cila, embarrassed but still trying to stay balanced, just wanted to show respect. Well, better luck next time. Mama Bayo unleashed her final weapon, Kemi, tall, curvy, a Yoruba goddess with hips carved by destiny itself. Her skin, smooth like rich cocoa butter under the morning sun. Her eyes held fire and confidence, lips full and fierce. like she knew the secrets of every man's downfall. Kemi didn't walk, she glided. Every sway of her waist was a sermon. And as she stepped forward, even the elders paused. This wasn't just a woman, this was thunder in heels. That night, no one heard her cries. No one saw the tears soak into her pillow. But in that quiet room, Gia broke. She clutched that worn Korean English Yoruba dictionary like it could explain the pain in her heart, like it could tell her how to belong. She didn't come here to be mocked. She came to earn love, respect, a place at the table. But all she got was laughter behind her back, whispers in a language she tried so hard to understand. Alone, so far from home, so far from kindness. She wasn't just learning a culture, she was fighting not to lose herself in the process. And in that tiny room, holding nothing but a book and her broken pride, Gia wept like a child. Suddenly, Adebayo collapsed. Gia never left his side, not for a second. With eyes swollen from crying, she soaked a towel and gently dabbed his burning body. Tears streamed down her cheeks as she tried to hold herself together, refusing to let go of the man she loved more than life itself. Her hands trembled, but her heart stayed firm. She couldn't lose him. Not now. Not after everything. And Kemi? Nowhere to be found. Not a call. Not a text. Just silence. She fed him, gently, patiently, like he was the most fragile thing in the world. With every spoonful, her hands trembled, her eyes never leaving his face. Not even royalty has ever been served with such love. And though he was weak, the way he looked at her said it all. I see you. I feel you. I love you. She knelt beside him, quietly praying for a miracle, begging heaven not to take away the man she loved more than life itself. And Kemi? After day 2, she simply posted a WhatsApp status. Can't come and die. Then vanished into thin air, like smoke. But Gia didn't leave his side. Not when the nights grew colder. Not when the hospital walls closed in. She stayed, holding his hand, whispering hope into his ears, wiping his fevered brow with trembling fingers. Even when exhaustion weighed down her tiny frame, even when her own tears blurred her vision, she chose to stay. Because love, real love, doesn't run from the fire, it stays. Mama entered the hospital room quietly. Gia was sleeping on a mat, hair rough, eyes puffy, holding Bayo's hand. Mama stood quietly by the hospital bed, her chest heaving with unspoken regret. Tears gathered in her eyes, tears she had sworn she would never shed in public. Her voice, usually sharp and commanding, broke into a soft, trembling whisper. My daughter, please forgive me. I judged you before I even knew your heart. But seeing you here, seeing you love my son more than life itself. Ah, Gia, you have done what even our own daughters could not do. She fell to her knees, clutching Gia's hands tightly. Forgive me, my daughter. I was wrong. You are not just good enough. You are the blessing I prayed for but didn't recognize. The room grew heavy with emotion as Gia, still holding Bayo's hand, broke into quiet sobs. Finally accepted.
I love Mama too.
Few months later, the wedding shook the town. Yoruba Korean fusion. Gia danced zanku in her hanbok and asoke. Bayo beamed in agbada, lost in love.
Kangasamita ajusi opa ye mama chona. Enyara ye wa bu ọmọ mi Gia láti ìlú Korea bẹ́ẹ̀ ni ọmọ tó lẹ́wà ọmọ tó dùn ọmọ tó jọ màmá ẹ̀ Gia baby mi.
After the grand celebration in Nigeria, Bayo and his entire family flew to Korea. for another mind-blowing wedding ceremony. So you see, love doesn't always speak the same language. Sometimes it speaks through tears, soup, and stubbornness. Because love, no get tribe. And sometimes, opa, is the sound of a heart refusing to give up.